So, hey, I'm in Westchester, Ohio with Sean Sutton, who runs the MMA for the Street, BJJ for the Street, and all of the JKD Unlimited programs that Burton Richardson has to offer. And was it about 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Sean asked me about judo, and he knew I was a judoka, and he's like, "Hey, how about like teaching me judo, but from a distance learning perspective?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I never had to do that before, but yeah, let's start doing it." So, did I have the program even up and running at that point? Or were you still building it?
We were on PDFs.
PDFs.
Yeah, you were sending me PDFs. I still have them all on my phone.
But you tell me, what's your perspective on the functional judo program?
Number one, the program is based on sparring. The program isn't based on obviously there's techniques. There's an art. There's a whole art. Jigoro Kano has it's probably the most documented art ever, maybe. Right? It has techniques that are in it, but the basis of Chris's program is sparring. So, yes, distance learning, I think the attraction is you have to feel it. Well, I felt it. I felt it. I just fought everybody in the room just now, like moments ago. And I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt already. So what we did is he created this program, and he gave me a parameter of how many rounds I needed to do based off of like a functional program, kind of inspired by the JKD Unlimited
Completely
rounds.
Inspired. Hey, Burton, completely inspired by it.
Yeah, and I put the work in, and I didn't take the test unless I was sure that I'd done what I needed to do. No shortcuts. I'd only be cheating myself, and he'd know, And hey, I've sent him videos, and he's like, "Sean, send me that again." We got to kind of all full disclosure here. When Sean first started, he already had judo background. Yeah.
And there's an entire backstory to that.
Yes.
But I wanted to see like what he could do on his feet against somebody else, because I didn't know if he did really a lot of competition or if he did a lot of randori. And what I found immediately was he was doing what we call one-arm judo, which is the hold him out, don't let him in type thing. And then we immediately went to work correcting that, saying, no, you got to grip fight. And that has to become the basis of your system of judo, is winning the grip fight, winning that exchange. And he did. He course corrected immediately, and within 6 months to probably 12 months, he's grip fighting like a boss. It changed his game, I think. What is the big standout part of the program for you?
I have two. So one is like personal journey part. The personal journey part for me, when I really feel, and it was later in the program than I thought, when I was like, okay, this is real. I'm really doing this. This is working. But the first one I want to say is, of all the throws, which actually the collar chokes went from failed throws was my standout. I was like, this is so different, because jiu-jitsu people don't take those risks.
No. It's more calculated for sure.
Yeah, they don't take those risks. But in judo, that's the highest reward. So why not take that risk? Right? Why not try the throw?
And you only have seconds. In a competition, you only have seconds.
So that kind of changed me in rolling for jiu-jitsu. Like if I start to pass the guard and they turtled up, I would jump on the collar to immediately roll through.
That one.
Yeah, and I'd say the real standout was I have a few, Ohio is where I live, and there are tons of wrestlers, and they're good. Wrestlers are really good in Ohio. And so there's a lot of wrestlers in my program, in my jiu-jitsu program. And during the EQ belt, the last brown belt, the little brown belt, I started being able to just throw every wrestler, and they weren't throwing me at all. And I was like, oh, this worked. This program worked.
That's
guys who took me down constantly now, I'm throwing them, and they're not throwing me, as long as they're putting a rope around their shoulders. Then I'll toss them.
Isn't that interesting too?
Yes.
And that analogy right there, of talking about ropes right around the shoulder, every part of the judo gi can be considered that, right? So people always ask about what's the positives of judo as it compares to wrestling, right? Wrestlers don't get to grab their clothes and stuff like that. In judo, you do, and that relates completely with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And what you can do from your feet with your hands, with the judo gi, you can do from the ground. It completely works with both systems.
Yes.
And we were talking about this before his test. So many people leave the one aspect and they go with the other aspect. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But if you want to be a complete player, somebody who really understands the full aspect of the art, you got to do both the standing and the ground. And I think that's really what it was back in the beginning when Professor Kano was creating this system, right? Anything else you want to say about the functional judo program that maybe will give somebody else out there inspiration maybe to try it out?
Look, in my perspective, judo and jiu-jitsu, I'm not even saying Brazilian jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu are the same art. It's the same thing, they just focus, really they're focused around two sports that have different rule sets that kind of dictate the way that you practice it. But if you are in love with the art, you do jiu-jitsu, especially, which is just from my perspective, because I do jiu-jitsu.
Me too.
If you do jiu-jitsu and you want the complete art, do judo. And this is a good way for you to do it, especially if you run an academy. We don't have, I didn't have the opportunity to go out to another school, and Chris gave me that opportunity, and he's giving you an opportunity too. So if you want to add this stuff to your program, just even to get it and add it to the program, you don't have to go through ranks or whatever you want to do, right? But I recommend that you do, because that's the actual feedback system. You're not just buying a video and then watching it and not knowing if you're doing it right. You have feedback. We talk the whole time, and I'm not even talking like during a test or whatever. We message back and forth the whole time.
We are always in contact with one another, and I'm in contact with several of his other students as well that are going through the program now. And I just talked to him this morning. I was like, if you guys need information, it's like, just reach out to me, man, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to facilitate your success in this program, right? And something important to understand too is just because Sean got a black belt in judo, a Shodan black belt in judo, doesn't mean that's it. It's over.
Right, yeah.
No, I've been doing this for a long time myself. I don't plan on stopping. And I want to continue to, even though I'm getting older, I want to continue improving my game and whittling away all the non-essentials. And that's what I talked to Sean about, is we just want to keep getting better at this. So I think this is really just a milestone. It just kind of lets you know that, I did this. We talked about rites of passage, This is something that you don't get to do very often in life. And if you do it and you keep progressing and you keep challenging yourself to get better and better, it happens. It's just going to happen for you, And 5 years in Japan, you can earn your black belt, and I think in a year, because it's part of the curriculum there. Here, it takes a little bit longer, and the reason why, like in jiu-jitsu, it might take 10 years, 15 years, whatever, is because judo is a very finite level of technique that you really need to get to this level. The Shodan is the white belt and black belts, and you're beginning again. But now you're beginning with a clear mind, and then you're now what they say is a serious student of judo, right? You don't have to worry about all the non-essential stuff now. Now you know what judo is. You know how to use it, and how farther along can you get, and how better can you get at it from that point on. And if you have not been to the premier martial art training center here in Westchester, you need to come here, check this out, check him out. You will not be disappointed at all.
I just want to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate you went out on a limb for me, and I super appreciate it. This is a real program that really works, like I'm telling you. It's called Functional Judo because it's functional and actually works. This stuff actually works, and I really recommend it, and I really recommend Chris Mikuta here, my sensei. I haven't said that yet, but yeah.
Appreciate it.